giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. We are streaming live on YouTube. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom! What's happening, people? Welcome into Friday's show. Got a jam-packed one for y'all. We got the scientific method coming up here in a few seconds. Plus, we're going to look at our Week 8 key matchups. These 3 key matchups, to me, will decide the fate of this game. Period. It's Friday, baby. Feel Good Friday, Fan Friday, whatever you want to call it. Let's get this thing started, as we usually do, by jumping into the scientific method and getting the inside scoop from our guy, Patrick No C. Walker. Hey, Pat. You hear that? That's just me.
Man.
That's just me tapping on the glass. I'm just trying to make sure you're not distracted and you're ready to go for the scientific method, man. You locked in?
Man, I can't focus. That's so distracted, man. I don't know
no.
how I'm going to be able to do my job with you actually watching me do my job.
Oh,
and,
no.
You know, like me getting paid for you to watch me do my job. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Distracted. You got to stop that.
Okay. All right. No more no more. All right. It is what it is, man. Let's just get to the football, I guess. But good morning, bro. How you doing on this Friday, man?
Hey, man, I'm blessed. I'm good. I'm healthy, man. How's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm ready to kind of turn the page from the bye week, get rid of that nasty taste from week 6 for the Cowboys, and hopefully they can go up to Santa Clara and get this dub, brother.
Yeah, man. That's the hope. And, I mean, they're going up against a 49ers team that is as banged up. I'm not even going to say banged up. They're both ravaged by injury. Let's just put it that way. They are both absolutely ravaged by injury. Cowboys had lost another one, and this one is season ending in John Stevens Jr. And, you know, in Wednesday's practice as he was preparing for the 49ers. And he's yet to make his NFL debut. And word around the building had it going into Wednesday of this week that this might have been it for him, that the Cowboys and Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer, they had an idea of building him up this week so that he could possibly and likely make his debut against the 49ers. And what happens, he goes down with another torn ACL, or I should say a retorn ACL, because it's the same one he tore before his rookie season. So, you know, 2 ACL tears of the same ACL within, what are we talking, 14 months, a 14-month span. So, you know, all I can do is give prayers and positive energy to the young man, talented young guy, but he's got another long road ahead of him, and hopefully we'll see him in 2025. But as you know, Will, the thing about ACLs, once they tear twice, they don't necessarily get stronger from that point forward. So fingers crossed for him, man. But for those that are or do have the chance to take the field, they're not necessarily trending in the right direction either. Deron Bland, you know, he had 2 full practices once the Cowboys activated his practice window, and he was close to playing against the Lions, and he experienced some soreness on that Friday practice, and they basically shut that down and was like, you know what, it's not worth it. We had the bye week. Let's get him more rest, more rehab, more recovery. And then coming out of that, you would have thought that he would have been back to practice, but, you know, did not participate Wednesday, did not participate Thursday. So, you know, Jerry Jones said it's a game-time decision. As we have this conversation, it's not looking good.
No.
It's not looking good.
Yeah,
for Michael Parsons.
Can I stay on the Bland one there for a second? Because that one concerns me greatly because of the nature of the injury is the one that, you know, speaking with one of our doctors, that could linger a little bit. And it sounds like that's exactly what's happening. And I just, I hate to be a wet blanket here, but I don't feel confident that even when he gets out there, it's not going to be sore to where it could hamper his ability. And that concerns me greatly.
I think that's a justifiable concern at this point because, if you look at when the injury occurred, how much time has passed from the surgery being done, and it wasn't a devastating injury or anything like that. It was a stress fracture in his foot, so nothing major, quote unquote. So you would like to believe that he'd be fully healthy and fully ready to go. And now he's up against his clock as well because that 21-day window expires on Wednesday. I think that's the 30th. Is Wednesday the 30th? Yeah. So it expires next Wednesday. So they have to make a decision. Either they're going to put him on the active roster on Wednesday or he has to revert to season-ending IR. And I'm of the belief that they'll put him on the active roster. But to your point, in doing that to avoid him going on season-ending IR and possibly getting 100% like in November, but now you can't use him because he's on season-ending IR. I get the math there, but if you put him out there, let's say against the Falcons, what version of DaRon Bland do you get? Now
right.
the conversation goes, it moves from, how quickly can he get the rust off to, okay, well now you're dealing with rust and a possible downgrade in play because he's still kind of dealing with it. So, yeah, you're not wrong in having that thought process. I have the same thought process. But all we can do is wait and watch and see what happens there.
Who we got that's also participating that you think has a shot, and then those who looks like it's not happening for them?
Well, keeping to the other headliners, since we're talking headliners with DaRon Bland, Michael Parsons, he has not participated in yesterday's practice, nor has he participated in Wednesday's practice the day before. That's the bad news. The good news is he's not limping anymore. So that's big because not 2 weeks ago when he, was out on the field doing rehab with Britt Brown, man, you think that he was Captain Hook and that leg was made of wood. Like he was not looking good. So to go from that to yesterday, he was not limping. And kind of a funny sidebar, I went to the Texas State Fair. I told the story on Talking Cowboys. I went to the Texas State Fair last Thursday, and I'm sitting there, I'm ordering my turkey leg, and I look over to the right, and who do I see but Michael Parsons, like walking toward me. It was him and his family, and he was carrying his daughter, and he wasn't limping at the Texas State Fair either. And anybody who's been to the Texas State Fair knows that's a lot of ground to cover, right? So if your ankle is really killing you, I'm not saying it wasn't hurt, but if it's killing you, then you're not walking around the Texas State Fair carrying your child. So I say all of that to say he's definitely making progress. Will it be enough progress to get on the field on Sunday? I think it's possible, but for him, unlike DaRon Bland, who's trending in the wrong direction, I think Micah has to practice today and maybe tomorrow to have a real chance of getting on the field. But we'll see. But right now, it doesn't necessarily look like he or Bland will be in play. Brandon Aubrey is still trying to help decide if somebody's guilty in Fort Worth. So he missed his second practice with jury duty. But he is, per Mike McCarthy, he's getting his kicks in once court closes for the day. So he comes into the building and he gets his practice kicks in. And the expectation is he's traveling with the team and that he will be on the field, which is great news because he is their biggest and, dare I say right now, only weapon to this point. So they kind of need him. Nick Vigil took a step back, was downgraded from limited to did not participate with a foot issue. He's still dealing with some things. But here's some more good news. EK, let's talk Eric Kendricks. All right, so Eric Kendricks, which I believe is going to be a huge determinant in the outcome of this game. He missed last game because of a calf and shoulder injury. Those that follow the injury report, which means you follow me on Twitter, good stuff, will notice that the calf designation has been removed. So he's only nursing the shoulder injury, so he's getting healthier, and he has participated in both practices this week, albeit limited, but he's back at practice, so he's trending in the right direction. For the most part, everyone else is trending well. Kalen Carson, he's had 2 full practices. He's still working to get medically cleared to take the field. He tells me when I had a conversation with him Wednesday after practice, he told me he's about 75-80% as far as getting cleared goes. But he said he feels perfectly fine to play, but he's waiting for the training staff to clear him. Other than that, like I said, both teams are ravaged. I mean, we could go down the injury report for the 49ers, but just trust me, it's a lot of big names. And, CMC is going to be out, and Jawan Jennings, we don't know if he'll play. Brandon Ayuk is out for the season. It sounds like Deebo Samuel will play. as he recovers from pneumonia, as wild as that sounds. But I mean, both teams are up against it, and it's 4-3. I'm sorry, 3-4 against 3-3. Both teams absolutely need to win. May the team that wants it most take the dub.
Indeed, that was the injury report brought to you by OSMI, who provides arthroscopic and robotic-assisted orthopedic surgery, foot and ankle surgery, sports medicine, physical therapy, and a whole bunch more for you guys. They have a team of doctors and specialists in Fort Worth, Decatur, Mansfield, and they provide state-of-the-art care to the North Texas area. If you missed me and Dr. Boothby sit down where we spoke on some of these injuries, please go back and watch it. I believe it was posted earlier this week. So make sure y'all check that out or check out osmifw.com. Pat, before we get you up out of here, man, again, we talked about this being a big game, road game where the Cowboys are 3-0. I want to know, what are you watching for on both the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball for the Cowboys?
On the defensive side for the Cowboys, I need to know if they can get pressure against Brock Purdy. I need to see it. It needs to happen. You may or may not have Michael Parsons on the field. You will not have DeMarcus Lawrence on the field. You will not have Marshawn Nealon or Sam Williams on the field. Can you generate pressure? Can Chauncey Golston and Tyrus Sweet and Carl Lawson and KJ Henry, as he starts to ramp up, can they generate pressure? And that's going to be key for a couple reasons. One, without Brandon Ayuk and some of these other weapons like CMC to dump the ball off to, Brock Purdy is playing average football right now. He has 7 interceptions to only 9 touchdowns. I spoke with Jordan Lewis yesterday, and I asked him, I said, hey, so what are you seeing on film that differentiates Brock Purdy of 2024 versus 2023? And he said he's getting off of his spot too quickly. And he didn't use the word panic, but in my head, I'm saying it seems like Brock Purdy is panicking because he's being pressured so much. He's sacked 13 times already through the first 7 games. If the Cowboys can have Purdy anxious and get into his personal space and rush him off his spot without him having those weapons to dump the ball off too quickly like CMC or get downfield consistently to like Brandon Ayuk, does that give opportunities for a guy like Trevon Diggs and Jordan Lewis to make plays in the absence of Deron Bland? So might we see an interception and or a pick six from one of these guys? Opportunities are going to be there, but starts up front, got to get pressure on Purdy. Flipping to the offensive side of the ball, CeeDee Lamb. I've been on this for the past 2 weeks. I'm going to stay on this until further notice. CeeDee Lamb is him. He is unequivocally him for this offense. And until CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott get on the same page and Lamb is dominating for 4 consecutive quarters, this offense is going to continue to stall. You want to see the run offense take off? Cool, I'm with you, but they got to block better up front. But another way to get the rushing attack going is for CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott to start torching these defenses in the air. That's going to force that's going to force teams to account for them, and that's going to open up the run game as well. So there's more than one way to open up the run game. Either you have a dominant O-line and or you have a dominant running back and or you have a wide receiver or a core wide receivers and an elite quarterback who can punish you in the air and make you forget about the run, then taking advantage of the run thereafter. So those are going to be my key matchups there.
Hey, quickly, is there any word on Dalvin Cook and this week being the week, or are we kind of still with the same situation the previous 6 weeks?
I hesitate to say that this week is the week. Hold on, really quick sidebar. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, hey, Dak, watch out for Fred Warner. That guy, remember that guy? Okay, so that's another key matchup for me. Dak Prescott versus Fred Warner. Keep an eye on that. So, yeah. Dalvin Cook. Okay, so I hesitate to say that this is the week because, let's be real, man, who knows? Who knows other than, the coaching staff and the ownership? And they don't really make that decision until Saturday, late Friday afternoon, evening, because the elevations are due on Saturday. So won't know definitively until tomorrow, but I will say that I've heard rumors, and you can take this however you want. I've heard rumors within the building, as I sit here in the building, that Dalvin Cook has been taking some first-team reps in practice. So I have been told that, and I don't know what I don't know what the amount of those first-team reps look like as far as, is it enough to say, oh, he's definitely trending toward or not trending toward. All I can tell you is what I've heard, and it's from a credible situation. So he has taken some first-team reps in practice. So I think that of any week, and I'm going to qualify this correctly, so if you're going to quote me, folks, make sure you quote me the right way. Of any of the previous weeks that Dalvin Cook has been with the team, I think this week is the most likely week for it to happen if it's going to happen. That's my quote.
Hey, man. Quote him. Put it out there. This is the week. No, I'm just playing. We're going to see. We're going to see if this is the week. We're going to see if this is the week.
Hey, this week it sounds like, based on the conversations I'm having, it sounds like this is the best shot that he's had thus far to possibly being elevated for the game. That's the best I can tell you. That does not mean that he will be, but it looks better than it has looked over the past 7 weeks. That's where we are.
Pat, we just looking for anything on the ground game. So whatever we can get, bro. Whatever we can get.
That. But I tell you what, Dalvin Cook doesn't rush the passer. So
no, there's a lot of other things, issues that are there too. But I'm gonna let you get going, man. That's Patrick No C Walker of DallasCowboys.com for this week's version of the Scientific Method. Appreciate you, big bro.
All right, man. Let me go and watch these tours.
I'm thinking about something as Pat heads on up out of here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe these guys got to deal with that too. I've seen the videos. When I say these guys, I mean the podcast. But again, it's not football. But I've seen the videos of tour guides walking by and looking in as they're recording and whatnot. But look, man, if you watch me and Foster King's show yesterday, y'all know how I feel. Let me just say this, man.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
we don't care.
It has nothing to do with you getting whooped on that damn field. But, the media, I know they got a job to do. They got headlines to create, articles to write. They try to get sound bites out of these guys. Why even asking these dudes? Why even asking these dudes? But neither here nor there. That's not today's show. Today's show, we are going to break down some of these key matchups. Pat actually alluded to one of the matchups, in my opinion, probably the most important one. If you can take care of a few other things, we'll dive into it all for you. Also, today is hot take, baby. So make sure y'all have y'all hot takes ready to go. If you need to copy, paste, put them in your phones, on your computers, write them down, whatever. Get ready for that because we are going to close out the show with our hot take. Well, getting one of your hot takes for this week's matchup. But, we come in pretty hot, pun intended, on Fridays to get our inside scoop and get a chance to say what's up with y'all, man. What's good with your Bomb Squad?
Bomb Squad!
How are we doing? How are we doing on this beautiful Friday as we get ready for some Cowboys football? Last week, we had a break, right? We were able to kick back and chill and had to worry about, Cowboys stressing us out. We wrap that up. We're back at it. A little stressful this week, but it is what it is. Sky, you would go live the day after my birthday? Big A, man, happy birthday! Shouts out to my Scorpio brother. I did not know that. Speaking of birthdays, y'all like to make fun of my age. According to y'all, tomorrow I will be turning, 52. All jokes aside, tomorrow is my birthday. So, we can celebrate it today here. If you want to celebrate it live on the stream, call into the show, by the way, 351-999-3787. Shouts out to Big A, my Scorpio brother. Happy birthday to you. And, let me celebrate my birthday this week. Hopefully the weekend, hopefully the Cowboys can get me a victory. That's what I'm looking for, a victory. If you so happen to want to contribute for the birthday, preferably, and I'll put it in the chat here, preferably do so via Cash App. That's really where it's at with it. I'll put it in here. Happy birthday fun. Via the Cash Izzy. Hashtag chill wheel 102 city. There you go. Appreciate all the love that we have here in the chat every day. Y'all are the absolute best. So let's get into these matchups, man. Let's get into these matchups. I want to start off with a matchup that hasn't really been talked about a whole lot. Maybe because the buzz has fizzled out. Maybe because the Cowboys defense is looking atrocious for the most part this season. Injuries, I get it, right? But when Mike Zimmer was hired, y'all remember the thing that got a lot of Cowboy fans excited, right? The big draw was Zimmer does well against the Shanahan tree. So far, not so good, but He's about to get the guy this Sunday. Oh, yeah. Zim is about to get the guy. So he struggled already against one of the guys. Now you get kind of the new age godfather of it, right? The old godfather is the actual father. Or if you want to go back even further than that. So this time, Zim goes up against Shanny, and both units are compromised. You look at the talent standpoint, I would say right now it's an even playing field. It's level. But when you look at the coaching / the scheme of things, that's where I get a little bit concerned, right? Because even though they are compromised, the things that they do well, you struggle with. Even with them being compromised, man. They run the ball well, you struggle stopping the run. We don't need to dive into anything there. We know that's a fact, especially against these specific type of schemes. They use a lot of pre-snap, at-snap motion, the third highest in the league, and they have averaged the third most yards per attempt or per play when they use that. The Cowboys have been one of the worst teams in defending pre-snap and at-snap motion. All right? And here's the big one. This scheme, this coordinator and coordinators alike, they like to attack the middle of the field. They like to attack the intermediate level of the field, right? A lot of overs. They'll set you up with the play action. They'll flood it. They'll have concepts that put some stress on you to open up the middle of the field. We saw that last year happen to them, and we've seen it happen to the Cowboys this season. Well, that's where Brock Purdy likes to go with the rock. He likes to throw the ball in the middle, intermediate area of the field more than he ever has. Also, the Cowboys have allowed the most yards per attempt and EPA per play in the intermediate level of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, they might be without their dogs, but you don't need dogs to run the rock. They've shown that. Jordan Mason is a dog. I guess you can call him a dog. He's beasting right now. You don't need all pros to get at the Cowboys running pre-snap, post-snap. We've seen that with the Saints, right? And if they can't cover the middle of the damn field, I guess it don't matter who's running the routes. So I say this, the Cowboys absolutely have to stop one of these things. Let's talk for a second. I know my answer. I'm curious to know your answer. The three things they do well that you don't. They run the ball well, you don't stop the run well. They do a lot of pre-snap motion, at-snap motion, you don't handle that well. And intermediate middle of the field level concepts, you don't handle that well. Of those three things, what, if you could stop one thing, what would it be? I'll be shocked if we're not all on the same page here, but I'm curious, right? We always have these conversations. I'm curious, Cowboys Nation. If you could say, hey, Zim, in this key matchup, I need you to stop this one thing. Even though there's about 3 or 4 of them that you struggle with that they do well, I need you to stop one thing. What would it be? What would it be? Dre said we're soft in the middle. We are in regards to defensive line. I like our backers. I do. You know, I feel about the young backers. The safeties, we talked about this last week, disappointed me. I'm a bit disappointed in the safety play, but I still like the depth. We just haven't been able to see it. Okay. I'm seeing the answers here. Yep. Yes. Everybody, to me, you're right. It's an opinion, so there's no right or wrong. But to me, I 100% agree. If you have to stop one of the three things that you are bad at and they're good at, it is stopping the run. Point blank, period. You have to be able to stop the run because this team thrives off of it, right? We talked about, let me see if I have it. Do I got it up here? I don't. But this team thrives off of setting up everything off of the run. If you can't stop the run, then none of this other stuff matters. It doesn't matter. They'll just run the ball down your throat. You stop the run. You force Brock Purdy in 3rd and longs, right? And now Zim can mix it up. You can show a different picture post snap. You can send exotic blitzes. You can run these stunts, because I think you're going to have to do that. I don't think the Cowboys can line up and just try to rush KJ Henry and Golston and Lawson and think you're going to beat these dudes down in, down out. Now McKivitz, you might get some wins over there, but Trent Williams, it ain't happening, folks. So you better throw some different looks at these dudes. But the looks won't matter. They won't matter if they're living in 2nd and 1. It won't matter if they're living in no 3rd downs ever. It won't matter if you're not stopping the run. So for me, stop the run. Maybe you have to sell out. We talked about this the other day. We have not been good at doing it. We have not been good at selling out the run. They've been good at running with loaded boxes, but maybe you've learned some lessons. You've grown, right? You change, adjust, and emphasize some things you do well. Maybe we get this, hey, Mozzie, we need that Giants game this week, right? We need a Giants type of performance. But I would sell out to stop the run schematically, not necessarily put 9-10 in the box, but run blitzes, more mug the gaps early, even early downs, right? But yeah, they have to figure out a way to thwart this run game. That's number one for me. Point blank, period. What also goes with that is tackling. You got to be able to tackle Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason's too good he's been too good at breaking tackles this year. The Cowboys have not been great at tackling. Let's be real. All right, let's go to my second key matchup. We're going to flip the other side of the ball because for real, I don't think there's an individual matchup for the Cowboys defense against their offense. I think the matchup that is the biggest to me is Zimmer and Shanahan. Both teams are without their top guys, and this is going to be a game of whose scheme wins, really. I mean, once you get on the field, it's going to be about being more physical and tackling and things. But I mean, schematically, either Shanahan's going to beat you with scheme or Zimmer's going to beat you with his scheme. These guys don't have the dogs this week. My second key matchup, and I feel like I do this every week, right? Terrence Steele, a.k.a. Cuzzo, and Tyler Guyton versus Nick Bosa. Yeah. Last year, it was Tyron Smith that was opposite of Terrence Steele, who was coming off the ACL, right? Still trying to find himself. And while the start of the season is better than it was last year, the start of the season last year was god-awful. This is still Nick Bosa, right? He's another one of those premier type pass rushers that he's going to win on both Terrence and Tyler. Like, he's going to get wins. Now, he hasn't wrecked a game yet against you. You don't want him to wreck games. He's been a pressure menace, but he hasn't really wrecked a game. And we say this all the time going up against these type of dudes. Don't let him wreck the game. Now, we looked at Nick Bosa the other day where he's going to rush. He rushes both from the left and right side almost equally this year. And he's had a lot of success actually on the other side, right side, I should say. And guess who's over there? Tyler Guyton. Welcome back, Rook. Tyler Guyton did not play last week or 2 weeks ago. Felt like maybe a healthy scratch. I don't know what the issue there. They kind of been mum on that. I think I saw somewhere where someone said, hey, he's kind of ready to go. Someone else said, he wasn't ready to go. Sounds like to me they were trying to give the guy a little break here, a little bit more time to get healthy, knowing they're going up against Aiden Hutchinson and need the offense to be firing on all cylinders. Well, it doesn't get easier with Nick Bosa. First game back, I would be shocked if Nick Bosa doesn't line up actually more on Guyton's side. Not to say that Terrence Steele was a lockdown tackle from a pass protection standpoint, right? He's been about average this season in regards to pass rush, pass blocking win rate. He's been quite literally 14 out of 34. But Tyler Guyton, the rookie, playing a left tackle for the first time in his career, I guess since high school maybe, I don't know. We've seen the struggles he's been having, right? And we're talking about a nuanced pass rusher. Nick is a nuanced pass rusher. He can beat you with speed, power, spin move, technician. He has the quickest get off, him and Myles Garrett in the National Football League. We talked about that the other day too. He'll probably win on both of these dudes, no doubt about it. But unlike a Myles Garrett or a TJ Watt who stays on one side, Nick is going to flip. And I feel like they'll try to find Mouse in the house. And for real, depending on who's having the worst game, maybe he stays there. But this is a huge matchup to me. If you want to get anything going offensively down the field or in general, you can't let this dude wreck your game. You can't do it. Now, they don't have the same horses in the interior, the Buckners and the Armsteads. You're getting good play out of, I think it's Givens and Malik Collins. Do have Leonard Floyd over there, right? Got to be worried about him. He can sneak up on you with some sacks, but this is a game record type of dude. You have to get some wins on him like you did against TJ. TJ didn't wreck the game, although he got close a few times, sack fumble, but he didn't wreck it to the point where you couldn't do anything. You couldn't move the ball. You moved the ball. You're going to need to get some wins like that against Nick Bosa. Not only in the pass game, but in the run game. He can destroy you in the run game as well. So he's a well-rounded defensive end, hence why he got the bag the way he got the bag. Cuzzo, Tyler, Guyton, that is, you got to be ready for this, man. You got to be ready for this, and you have to be able to step up to the plate. I know on the road environment can be loud a little bit. Maybe there's some silent counts. I like to see a little more tempo. Got to catch this dude. And Dak, too. I'm going to throw Dak in here because Dak is going to have to understand, hey, I got 97 on 60. I got 97 solo on 78. Let me use my cadence. Let's switch it up a little bit. All right? Got to do it. Before I get to number 3, it is Friday. We didn't talk about my underdog pick'ems yesterday. I got one for you today, though. Yes, indeedy. Join the millions and millions of underdog fantasy fans who are playing each and every week. You can sign up with the promo code ATOZ Dallas and get a deposit match up to $1,000. You don't got to go far. You ain't got to go type in the URL. Click on the link in the description and have a chance to match 10 times, 20 times, 30 times your money. Here's our teaser for our game day pick'em on Sunday. We talked about the Cowboys defense and Mike Zimmer going up against Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, higher or lower, or Purdy, 238.5 passing yards. Last week, I kind of joked around when in the game day pick'em about Jared Goff. I went under, it was like 260 something. And I said under because one or two things is finna happen. They're either gonna run the ball down the Cowboys' throat, and he's not gonna have to throw the ball a whole lot, or the Cowboys have the best day of their damn life. he doesn't. I didn't think there was gonna be a middle ground. Well, there was a middle ground. They ran the ball on you at will. Oh, and they threw the ball on you at will. I think the difference in this one, though, they don't have the same weapons. Brock Purdy's not out there with the same weapons. So if he does reach higher, it'll be because you did something you really haven't done against a good running offense all year, and that's stop the run. If it's lower, it's likely because they're running the ball down your throat. I don't know if there is a path where the Cowboys defense is just dominant to the point where they can't run on you and they can't throw on you. You're going to have to deal with one or the other. Preferably, I'd rather deal with Brock Purdy throwing the ball. I'd rather he finish the day with 275 yards and an L because he has to throw a whole lot and they only rush for like 68 yards. That would be the perfect day for me. So you can kind of get a sense of where I'm leaning into here, Cowboys Nation. But we'll talk more about it on Sunday. Higher or lower, Brock Purdy, 238.5 passing yards is my game day pick'em teaser. Again, make sure you join the millions of fans who have made game days more entertaining by playing along underdog fantasy sports. Text said lower, higher. I think it's a good number. They do a good job. I mean, when they first started, I was like, oh, man, this seemed like easy money. of late, over the last year or so, or year, they've really made you think. They make you think in regards to these higher lowers, for sure. For sure. Okay. Let's get to what I think is the most important matchup of the day. By the way, get ready for y'all hot takes too. We're gonna get to that at the end of the day. Again, phone lines open 351-999-3787 if y'all want to rap about the game or whatever. I know there's some other things that are on y'all mind, and that's cool. That's why I open up the platform for you guys to speak what's on your mind. To me, the most important matchup of the night, I should say, not day, is Fred Warner versus Dak Prescott. This is one that Warner has won easily over the years, right? No matter who the defensive coordinator is. By the way, they're going on their 4th or 5th DC in 4 years. It's crazy. And they still are able to be a competitive defense year in, year out. But Warner's won this one a lot. There's that infamous shot, right, of Fred Warner. I think the Cowboys calling timeout, and then Warner and Dak jawing, and he points at Dak, basically like, yeah, I know exactly what the you about to do. Better call that timeout. Yeah, he is one of the smartest linebackers in the game. One of the best linebackers in the game, and we talked about him on a Hall of Fame trajectory. I don't think you're going to be able to just get to the line, try to play Peyton Manning all night against this dude, drop back 45 times, and everything's going to be hunky-dory. I don't. I think given the group of receivers outside of CeeDee Lamb, you're going to need more help. I think Mike is going to have to help out Dak in this game. I think there's going to be need to be a little bit more emphasis on the how. The one thing you cannot do, and I talked about this on Foot's show. I've talked about this with you guys too earlier in the week. Can't be stagnant. You cannot be. I think Mike McCarthy said something this week where he was like, yeah, the first thing I did was I went back and I watched the game last year. Why? There's absolutely nothing you can take away from that game that you feel good about using in this game except one play. All seriousness. We tried to slant flat them boys to death last year. We didn't do any pre-snap, at-snap type of stuff. The one time you really did that, you got the touchdown with Kevontae Turpin. I decided to go down a rabbit hole yesterday. Watched that game, looked at some red zone things, and let's talk about that game. One thing I noticed is every third down passing play, except one, the Cowboys were stagnant, and they had no concept behind it to put pressure on Fred Warner, on the pass defense whatsoever, except one time. The one time happened to be Kevontae Turpin going in motion, getting a free release, and getting a touchdown. One time. I sat here and I talked to you guys the other day about the importance of using pre-snap, at-snap motion against this team. Now, I'm not going to walk you through these plays. I'll just let you guys take a look at them, and you can see for yourself what they do, the advantages you get, the leverage you create when you have pre-snap, at-snap motion with concepts designed behind it to put stress on this defense. This is the time to go back into that quasi Steelers bag that Mike McCarthy was in. But I think you need to be even better than that, right? I think you need to use some of that pre-snap, at-snap stuff, but have some really good concepts behind it. Because if you think you're just going to drop back and do this whole, 3-step drop, everything is aligned to the feet, progression reads, boom, boom, boom. It's not going to work against this team, man. It's not going to work. You have to find ways to create advantages for, I don't care who it is. I mean, we're looking at players like Tutu Atwell get busy. Kevontae Turpin get busy. This ain't CeeDee Lamb types. I like to see a little bit more deep dropbacks. I get that takes time, right? You're going to need to get some. Okay, well then help out Nick Bosa. Help out on him. But if you're just going to drop back 2-3 step drops and try to quick slant these boys to death, it's not happening, man. If there's anything you want to take away from this Mike McCarthy, this game from last year, take away that that's not going to work. Another thing that was an issue pre-bye week is last year, the ability to beat 4-man rushes and dropping 7. There was a problem with that pre-bye week. And there's been a problem with that pre-bye week this year, especially because you have no run game. Now, how did they address that? They addressed that by using more of that kind of exit motion, pre-snap type motion, jet type stuff. They did that. That was their answer to it last year. I'm not lying. That's how they got to it, because you were able to create leverages. There was some decent concepts as well, but most of it was just getting guys moving and thinking before the snap. You have to do that against this team, man. It's all over the film. I told you guys the other day, Seattle didn't do it on third downs. They were terrible. They couldn't really do anything against this team but when they didn't do it. You go look at the Vikings. You go look at the Rams, who do that a lot. I love watching that matchup yesterday, by the way. It's a dream matchup when you talk about play designers. O'Connell, McVay. Great game. You go look at these guys. They use it. It's a part of who they are. That's why they're able to pop off big plays. I bet you if you did a study on teams that use that, they probably create more big plays than teams that don't on a consistent basis. Either A, at snap motion, or B, creative concepts, stressing safeties and linebackers as opposed to just basic generic. We're going to spread you out wide and run a whole bunch of slants and comeback routes. This isn't 1995 anymore, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be a little bit more creative than that. You just do. Now, what about the run game, Scott? I keep talking about the pass game. Well, I'm going to tell you like I've been telling you. I don't have confidence in this run game until they give me a reason to be confident. They've done nothing this year for me to really be that confident in this run game. So I'm just looking for these guys to have moments. Looking for them to have. Fred Warner is a run game destroyer if you're basic. And the Cowboys are extremely basic in how they run the ball. The teams that had the most success against them on the ground were Minnesota and the Cardinals, but it was two different ways. The Cardinals, it was just James Conner just being a damn dog. I mean, he was just a bulldog, making guys miss, breaking tackles, getting more yards over expected than he probably should have gotten. But the Vikings use a variety of run plays. Dallas doesn't have that deep of a bag. We got about 2 or 3 run plays, it feels like. But whatever bag you got, you need to be reaching in there. You've got to reach in there. You cannot run 2 or 3 run plays against this front against Fred Warner. You've got to you got to get these guys thinking, man. You just do. Well, Scott, what happens if we get down to the red zone? What happens if we move the ball? Excellent question. The 49ers, they play vision defense. They don't mind you trying to matriculate down the field. They want you to make a mistake, and they've been really good at forcing mistakes. I think they're top 5 in turnovers this year, so they get the ball. And with the way the Cowboys, have penalties, don't be shocked if you see some holding calls. Don't be shocked if we're not imaginative on offense, there'll be some interceptions, some fumbles or whatever. If they just go out and do what they've been doing pre-bye week, I don't think it's going to be pretty. But if they do matriculate the ball down the field, if you want to talk about the number one non-individual matchup that the Cowboys have to take care of, it's the red zone. The Cowboys have not been good in the red zone for the second year in a row pre-bye week. In fact, I think they're bottom 2 or 3 in the league in red zone offense. So what changed? I went down a rabbit hole. I told y'all. I said, well, first of all, are the Niners good in the red zone? Not really. They're not that good. They allow teams to move the ball a little bit down the field. They're 23rd in the red zone. They've allowed the 3rd most red zone plays. You've been one of the worst, but they also aren't one of the best. So I said, what was the difference after the bye week in the red zone? I went back and watched every single touchdown in the red zone last year. The difference is the variety of plays you ran down there. Number one. That's the main takeaway. The variety of plays. Even at the beginning of the year, when the Cowboys weren't great in the red zone, they had a different palette down there. Totally different. This year, teams are catching on to what you like to do. They Cowboys love to run the number 2 option on a corner route, and the red zone teams are sitting on that. You aren't even attempting to run the ball as much as you did last year. It wasn't successful early on as much. Not really, but at least you attempted it. You got under center a little bit more. But that was the biggest difference. The other difference was they were just making plays. Like Dak and CD or Cook, Brandon Cooks, they were just making plays too, to be honest with you. It wasn't like these dudes was just shaking loose wide open all the time. But you did see a variety of plays. Can we have an honest conversation real quick? Because I didn't just go back to 2023. Off the top of my head, like I knew the Cowboys statistically and just thinking in my head were a really good red zone offense prior to last year. Statistically, you can go look at it, whatever you want to do. I went back and I watched 2022. Mind you, the Cowboys' offense that year was weird. Remember, Dak leading the league in interceptions and all that. But the Cowboys were the number 1 team in the red zone. In 2021, they were the number 6 team in the red zone. The reality is Kellen Moore is better than Mike McCarthy in the red zone. We can hate the kid all we want. The dude has no idea how to manage a game. He doesn't have any idea how to put a game plan together. We understand he was creative. He had some plays. He didn't always run them, and he was weird with the double reverses and didn't have counters, and that's all fine and dandy. But the bottom line is he was much better than Mike McCarthy in the red zone. Boy, I went back and watched, and I'm just sitting here like, wow. I'm a big proponent of stealing. You ain't even have to try to steal the things that was working in 21 and 22. He was in your building. It's on the play sheet. You can kick him out, but keep what worked. Oh, brother. We ain't doing none of that shit. We're doing none of it, Cowboys Nation. Oh, there was so much movement down there. They were under center a whole lot. Tons of play action and just a whole lot was going on down there. It worked. And it wasn't like, oh, we weren't good early. No. The whole thing. You know, you were a good red zone team down there. And so we got to be honest with ourselves. I ain't the biggest fan of Kellen. Y'all know the reasons why. But one place I am shocked that Mike hasn't at least been able to keep up a little bit is the red zone. And one place the Cowboys are going to have to be mindful of that man, Fred Warner and Dak Prescott, is the red zone. You drop back. You want to keep running these goofy ass corner routes, flag routes with the number 2 receiver on the 7-8 yard line. And that goofy underneath route. Well, get ready. Yeah, I know. It might hurt to hear that a little bit, Mr. R. Williams. But Kellen Moore was extreme. I mean, to be honest with you, he's just more creative than Mike in general. But he was so much better than Mike McCarthy in the red zone. It's not even funny. It's quite sad when you go back and you watch the red zone touchdowns from 23 in this year, or just plays, and then the red zone touchdowns or plays from 21, 22. How did you let those go out the windows? Or out the building? That was in your building. You just kept those plays. But I digress, man. I digress. I'm just keeping it a beat. So the hope, a word I was using a lot yesterday with Foots. What is the hope for the offense to turn around? I talked about what they need to do between the 20s, but more importantly, the red zone needs to have a surge, have an uptick. They have to be more versatile down there. There was more intent to get a Jake Ferguson the ball. There was more intent under the center to run play action and getting 13 personnel, 12 personnel out there and putting these tight ends in advantageous situations. There was more of an attempt to say, hey, instead of lining up 2-3 players on one side to try to get CD Lamb involved in this weird zone, and no, it was 3 by 1, 1-on-1 with CD Lamb. If we're in the deep red zone, which I call around the between 20 and like 12, 13 yard line, if we're deep, I bet we're going to isolate CD Lamb. I'm going to get a read on your safety if you keep one over top of him. If not, I got one-on-one. I've seen them beat a safety over top with one-on-one on the outside in the red zone because they isolated. They didn't run them into, 4 defense. Like, go look at the pick. It's a dumb pick. But why the hell are there 3 Cowboy players play side, I think on the left hash, all within 5 yards of each other in the end zone? Mike is going to have to make an adjustment post-bye week down there. If we come out doing the same things, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't care how good you might think Dak is. I think it's not going to go well the rest of the season down there. You cannot make a mistake down there. And he has the last 2 weeks. So instead of muddying things up, clear the picture. Clear the picture, ladies and gentlemen. Get under center. Run it down there with a guy who's actually pretty damn good in the red zone. Run some play action. Isolate CD Lamb. Isolate Jake Ferguson. If not, and we're going to continue to muddy this thing up, we'll continue to get ready for more inconsistent play down there. Straight like that. That's just the hard truth. All right, Cowboys Nation. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give y'all some time. Somebody just called in. I'm going to get to you in a second. It's about that time for Dave's Hot Chicken Hot Take of the Week. Come on with it. Give me your best hot take. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this get me hype. I ain't even gonna hold you. This guy give me hype a little bit. While you guys are drawing up your best hot takes, I'm gonna hit the phone lines real quick. A210. Good morning, good sir. What's up with you?
What's good with you, Sky?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I just want to call this team. I mean, me personally, I think they can win. I mean,
Let me turn you up. Hold on. I got you mad low. Here we go. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. They couldn't hear you that well. Go ahead.
But yeah, I approach every game as a winnable game. It's the NFL, week by week, anything can happen. But do you think Mike McCarthy or the whole coaching staff doesn't pull this off after having 2 weeks of rest and game planning and preparation? Do you think he's going to be gone?
Yeah, I think depends how. So basically, if they lose, right? It depends how.
Yeah. So you think if they lose the same way they've been losing for the past between the Saints, Ravens, and
then I think he's out of here. Personally, I think he should be. But when Jerry said he regretted firing Wade, maybe that makes me think, oh, well, maybe he won't fire him. But I would. That's just me.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then do you think the offense is going to be, because you saw Rico saying his stuff, do you think the offense is really going to be a little bit different? You think, I expect we're going to see the same crap. I think they bullshitting us, personally.
Well, I mean, like I said, the hope is last year, you saw them come out and quite literally, I'm not lying to y'all, the very first play out of the bye week against the Rams, they ran a motion they didn't run not a single damn time before the bye week because Shoddy said, we looked around the league and we stole some plays. So that's the hope, right? Is that they come out of this bye week and do some of the things that are working around the league.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I saw your show the other day. You don't take Mike's word for nothing. I don't either at this point.
No, I don't believe him.
I'm trying to get him.
I don't trust him. Let me just say that. I don't trust him. So he's got to earn my trust back.
No, facts. But I ain't trying to hold you too long. I know it's a Friday show, but I'm looking forward to the game. Hopefully they pull it out with all the injuries on the offense end for the 49ers. But that defense is still that defense. They got our number every time. So hopefully they get a win.
Hopefully they get a win, man. Hopefully they get a win. Appreciate you, big dog. Hot take. I'm sorry. I love it. Hey, I know the people that don't like wrestling, they probably hate me when I do this shit. I'm sorry. I love it, man. Let's read these hot takes, though, man. What y'all got for me today? Hot take. Brandon Aubrey will be the only scorer, but will make more than 3 field goals this game after missing the first one. Damn, that's very detailed, brother. That's a real detailed hot take you got there for me. So you're basically saying the Cowboys are not scoring a touchdown in this game. We just kicking 3 field goals, but he's going to miss the first one. I hope you're wrong. I hope like hell you're wrong there. It's gotta be Kane. Stephen Brown says, my hot take of the year. Ooh, this is a Stephen Brown. My hot take of the year. The Cowboys are going to win all of the road games, but lose most of the home games. I remember there was a time during the Jason Garrett era where the Cowboys were kind of the road warriors and they couldn't win at the crib consistently. Then these last 2 seasons, it kind of flipped. 22-23, the Cowboys couldn't lose at the crib and were mediocre at home. If they win all their road games, 8-0, and they lose most of their home games, that's still a playoff team. Technically. Hot take. Come on, man. Ezekiel Elliott, CJ says Zeke is going to get 25 yards this week. I shouldn't be laughing, but 25 yards would be like the second most he's had all year. So kind of is a hot take, though. It kind of is a hot take. Just say it. Jay Versick said, hot take. Brandon Aubrey will outscore Brock Purdy by 3. Oh, now that's a hot take. So you're essentially saying the Cowboys defense is going to shut down Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan to the tune of essentially what? 3 to 6 points? Brandon Aubrey kicks 3 field goals. That's 9 points. Manny says, this hot take. We get ran all over. Offense looks stagnant. Mike from Pittsburgh gets the axe. I mean, that ain't much of a hot take. That's kind of been happening this year, right? But he said this one's a hot take, though. They promote Bones to head coach. We stay scrappy. So we were throwing around ideas if you did fire Mike. Bones, I want to say he's done that before, actually. I think, I've seen teams elevate their special teams coach to head coach to kind of just keep things normal. Because if you elevate the special teams coach, you don't got to change much up on defense. You ain't changing much up on offense. Plus, Bones has that energy. That's kind of why when I threw out the 2 names to me, I threw out that will be the interim coaches or 2 coaches that have that type of energy, Bones and Shoddy. I personally would like to see one of them because you're going to need guys that kind of been around, know what the hell they're doing, and has that energy to kind of give the team a shot in the arm. I don't think that's Mike right now. He's a pro's pro and everything, but he's just not that guy I think you look at and get behind. He doesn't really give you that type of energy. But Bones is a good name to kind of keep it going. Dro said, hot take. This is good. Zim ain't zammed all year. I like that. Tex Rob 83 says, hot take, Turpin runs a kickoff back for a touchdown, but it gets called back because of a holding penalty. Come on, man. God damn. You're killing me. Drummer Cam, his hot take here. Hunter Lipke, 2 rushing touchdowns. Oh, okay, he's just playing around. I thought you was about to get serious. That'd be something crazy. 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, and 95 yards. What is this, Madden? The Guru says Zimmer would take over as head coach interim, right? Has prior head coaching experience. I mean, that's up to whatever the general manager decides. I wouldn't do it because Zim needs to focus defensively. But yes, he has the head coaching experience. But Al Harris is the assistant head coach. How crazy would that be, right? You know, you fire Mike, you promote Zim, and now Al Harris is sitting there like, hey, I'm the assistant head coach, and you gave it to the dude that runs the defense, and I'm a defensive guy. All right. Say less. Still looking for a good one. Let's hit the phone lines, though. Let's talk to Poindexter. Good morning, man. I'm good. How you doing this morning? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Oh, let me get you live. Hold on. You wasn't live. I know y'all about to tell me he muted. My bad. Go ahead. You said we a front running team? They about to light my ass up.
we always talk about a front running team. You know, we seem like we got front running fans. You know, I've been a fan for as long as I can remember, man. And people do that crazy stuff, talk about, oh, I'm gonna burn my jersey and all this old kind of stuff and everything. You know, the time that I really wear my jerseys and wear my colors is after a loss, you know, because I want to hear it from people. You hear what I'm saying? Because after a 40-point win and stuff, you know, everybody's, oh, the Cowboys gonna win the Super Bowl and all this old kind of stuff. I never buy into that, man. I just buy into, trying to win a game. We knew we had problems way back in March, It was some moves that could have been made, that should have been made, And so we got to the season and we say, well, we didn't make the move we should have made. There's a lot of things that we should have done, but hey, we're gonna follow the team anyway. We're gonna cheer for the team anyway, and I have a nephew that's a big 49er fan, so if I got to get some grief from him, I get some grief from him, you know what I mean? But he's a football fan, and we talk about the games, and, he know his team is a little depleted, but he's still pulling for them. And, hey, I'm still pulling for these Cowboys, 49ers, Cowboys will always be a rivalry type of game, and as you said before, we just want to see something different, man. We've been tired of seeing the same thing. Hopefully we'll see something a little different. Hopefully they'll get that kick that they got last year, after the bye and stuff. So I'm going to be cheering, man, and I'm hoping that the Cowboys win, and I'm going to say that he'll win 20-21. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking for a dub, man. I'm just looking for a dub. And if you want a hot take, my hot take is that Dalvin Cook gonna be on the roster. that'll be the hottest take I can get, But like I said, man, I'm gonna be cheering for this team, man. Up, down, or whatever, Like I said, we knew in March that this was what we was gonna have, man, and we just hoping that we can scheme up something a little different. That some of these players will step up, man, and we'll get that Dak to CD connection going, and we'll spam Lamb, and hopefully somebody else will step up. Hopefully we can get the ball to Ferguson. That's been the thing that we haven't been doing this year. And that's about all I got, man. God bless you, man. And as your boy Vosh say, I love you to pieces. And how about them Cowboys?
Appreciate your boy Dexter. I just knew we was gonna get that energy from him, man. Let's get 603. See if we can follow that up. Good morning, 603.
Hey, Scott. This is Roy. Let me talk to you for a minute.
Roy must be at work.
The crippler.
Let me turn you up.
Yeah,
Roy.
I am.
Okay, yeah. I got.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
get the radio voice down. What's up with you, Roy? How we feeling?
Yeah, man. Hey, man, you been hitting the crippler?
The crippler? The crippler
Yeah,
crossface? That's a wrestling.
Yeah,
that's a wrestling term.
Because I don't understand how you can say that Kellen Moore is a better play call in the red zone.
Yeah, he is.
Now, they ain't played
Easily.
nobody. Number one. Number two.
Who's they?
If you listen, the Eagles.
I ain't talking about
they ain't played nobody.
I ain't talking about the Eagles,
They
Roy.
ain't played nobody.
Roy, I don't give a about the Eagles. I'm not talking about the Eagles, Roy.
Listen to me.
Listen to me.
Moore.
I don't think you listening, Roy. I was talking about the Cowboys red zone when he had Kellen Moore, Roy.
Kellen Moore is
listening.
not a better play caller in the red zone.
He is.
Now, what we need to do.
He is, though, Roy. But go ahead.
What we need to do is, we need to run the ball.
Yes.
Let the run set up the pass.
Facts.
If our tackles don't hold up, we won't win the game. If our tackles hold up and Zach Martin finds some energy somewhere to play better, we can win the game.
Man,
we gotta run the ball.
Amazing
Let the
analysis.
Run, set up the pass.
Yeah,
that's all we need to do. Run.
That's
the
all
ball.
we need to do. All we need to do is just
run the ball.
Just run the ball 30 times and we'll win, right?
Run the ball. Let the pass set up the run. Old school football.
Old school.
Hat on a hat.
Hat on that. We doing hat. We doing hat on the hat. It ain't working.
Hat on a hat.
We doing hat on the hat. It ain't working. It ain't working.
Not hat on a. Not hat on a cat. Hat on a hat.
We've been playing hat on the hat, not cat in the hat, and it ain't working. So they better figure something out.
Scott, it will. Well, Scott, how we gonna win if our tackles don't hold up in the pass game?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you won 3 games, doing it. So you got. I've shown you plays where it works. You just got to run those plays, Roy. You just got to run those plays, Roy.
You know that when Guyton and Still don't hold up, we can't get our tight end out the flat. You know that our tight end got to stay in that block.
I mean, I would like for him to actually stay in there and help him out a little bit more sometimes, to be honest with you, brother. You know? Yeah.
All right. Oh, Scott, hey, man, the Eagles, they ain't played nobody. And
why you keep bringing up the Eagles, bro?
Watch them start crying about Kellen Moore. They're going to be crying about Kellen Moore.
Roy,
like we were crying about Kellen Moore.
Roy, I don't think you was listening.
Joystick.
Roy, I think you're being hard-headed, Roy.
They have not been joystick yet. That's all. That's all.
The Eagles, but you're right, Roy. Thank you for the call, brother.
All right, bro.
Salute. Oh, man. Somebody said Roy was in the library. Hey, y'all gotta listen. Roy, you gotta listen. I don't give a damn about Kellen Moore in Philly. I went and watched our red zone offense when he was here. And when he was here, the film don't lie. We were a much better red zone offense than we were under Mike McCarthy. That's facts. And if you don't want to believe film, the numbers would tell you so too. You gotta listen. Facts, bro. CJ said they done turned into the salt and pepper lounge. What? Shouts out to Roy though for calling in from work. I get it, man. Hey, sometimes you just gotta get something off your chest, but you at work. Where my hot takes at though, man? I still haven't found one I like just quite yet. Still haven't found one just quite yet. Let's see. Hey, you guys can call in with a hot take too. Let's see what Marco got. Good morning, Marco.
What up, Scott? I was just gonna tell you happy birthday, bro. I'm an October baby too, man.
Oh, shouts out OVO, baby. I don't know if I should say that anymore, but shouts out to October babies.
Yeah, my birthday was Monday, man. Happy birthday, brother.
Oh, Monday. So you just missed being a Scorpio, but you still OVO. So
yeah, I'm
shouts
a
out to you.
I'm a Libra.
Yeah. Happy birthday, big dog.
Yeah, man. Hey, Scott. Yeah, happy birthday to you. But Scott, appreciate you for always letting me call in with my opinion, no matter if we agree or disagree. And I always appreciate that, man. I love your show, bro.
That's the platform I'm trying to build, fam.
Period, bro.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, brother. Be blessed, man. Have a good birthday, brother.
Thank you, man. You too. Appreciate it, Marco. You know, and I always say I give many of you guys props that do disagree and call in and we talk about it, because y'all know me. I like to debate, and then we'll turn it into a bit sometimes. We'll have some fun with it, but we definitely going to talk it out. So shouts out to Marco being one of those guys. $100,000. And y'all better not call my bro 100 grams yet. We'll see. Not yet,
bro. I got confused. There's a lot. Is it pillow talking going on?
Bro, he called in here whispering. Ain't no pillow talk though. No Diddy, chill. But that was that was a first time for everything. You know, I've never got a call in whisper call. Never got that yet.
Yang Yang twins call.
Let me whisper in here. Tell us something like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. What's up, dog?
Well, listen, man.
Hey, chill with that. Hey, David, chill with that. Chill with that, David. That's why I said I don't know if I can say that no more. See, that's exactly why I can't even represent that no more. What's on your mind, $100,000? Before I start fighting these people, somebody said do-rag Scott. I'm about to put the do-rag on. What's on your mind, $100,000? Hello.
It's gonna be a sad.
Okay, there you go.
It's gonna be a sad Monday, dog.
Oh shit.
It's Scott. Scott, listen, man. I'm just here to bring the message, man. That's it, man. Look. I'm a Cowboys fan. I love being a Cowboys fan, but you know I'm a sports bettor too, man. And my money just ain't going over there, man. It just won't do it. It won't. We gonna get our ass whipped, man. We can't stop the run. We can't run. We can't pass. We can't. Scott, you think that's going to change in a bye week? I understand everybody want to say last year. We did it last year. We don't have the same team. This is a totally different team.
Fair enough.
This is a totally different football team than last year.
All I'm gonna say is this, $100,000. You my dog, so I could have some fun with you. You was on the opposite end of the spectrum last couple weeks and we lost, so hopefully you on the opposite end of the spectrum this time and we win. $100,000 was up in here talking about the Saints is soft. We gonna stop them. We gonna make them quit. The Ravens can't score. We gonna blow them out. And you know it didn't work out. So hopefully $100,000 saying we gonna get whooped and we do the whooping. That's all I got. $100,000. Nah, but in all seriousness, we broke it down. You probably was watching the show. We broke it down. Like we talked about the things.
No, I didn't watch.
Oh, you missed it. All right, so I talked about 3 things that they do well offensively. You don't do well defensively, whether they got the horses or not. They run the ball well. You don't. They throw to the middle of the field. You don't guard that well. And they run at snap, pre-snap motion at the 3rd highest level. When you give up, I think you're the worst team against it. So you have to be able to defend one of those 3 things. And for me, it's about stopping the run, $100,000. Real football talk, they got to stop the run. If they stop the run or at least make it tough on them, then they'll have a shot on that side. And they got the better shot, in my opinion, on the defensive side because they're dealing with all the injuries. But schematically, they got the advantage.
Yeah, they do. They do. And everybody talking about they hurt just like us. They got a backup running back that they did things with. You know what I mean? They the scheme. They have a scheme. We don't. And everybody want to blame it on Mike. I'm not blaming nothing on Mike. I'm not blaming nothing on the players. It starts at the top, man. It starts at the top and it ends at the top. Period.
Well,
you know what I mean? We're okay. If we were the Giants, then I can sit there and say, yo, it's the coach's fault. It's Daniel Jones' fault. Because that's the truth. They letting them play football over there. They're just not a good team. And Daniel Jones ain't good. They don't have an owner that's in there with the game plans and all that. They don't have that. We have that, and that's our problem. I don't care who gets Scott. We can go get the best offensive coordinator in the world. We still gonna have the same issues and the same problems.
I don't agree with that.
What makes me say that? Scott. Look at Jason Garrett. Go back and look at Jason Garrett, and then go and look at Mike McCarthy and tell me that's not the same person.
That doesn't prove your point, but okay.
Yes, it does. It does. You want to know why? How it proves my point? We've been talking about the same points. Stopping the run and running.
Okay.
Same thing.
That part's true. I thought you were talking offensively. I thought you were talking about offensive. I think offensively, if you bring in a certain coordinator, your issues just shift. I don't. You have issues. It just be different issues.
Even offensively, Scott. You're passing the ball too much. Either we don't
because
pass.
you bring in when you bring in pass happy offensive coordinators. That's what happens. When they didn't bring in pass happy offensive coordinators, what did we do? We ran the ball. So listen, if you're talking about stopping the run and defensive stuff, yeah, that might not change. But offensively, if you're bringing a specific type of coordinator, they will tailor the offense to that coordinator, in my opinion. So I don't agree with that. I think it depends who they bring in. If they bring another Mike McCarthy, then we're going to get another Mike McCarthy or Jason Garrett. But if they bring in a Ben Johnson, you will see a shift in this offense, period.
But the coach should still be just like still have Stephen Jones.
Again.
Because all of the coaches do.
Again, I'm just talking specifically the offensive how. You want to talk about everything else? Of course, we agree there. Stephen Jones is here. Jerry Jones is here. Culture is an issue. Who's your DC? Like, I get it, but I'm just focusing on what you said in regards to
But that interferes with the offensive coordinator.
$100,000, we know, bro. But I'm not about to sit here and be bitching and moaning for 5 days a week about that. You brought up the offense, and I'm telling you, if they bring in a specific offensive coordinator, there will be a shift in the offense. Now, everything else is a different discussion, dog. We can do this 5 days a week if you want, but I ain't doing it.
We still will lose the same way, is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Kevin Moore was good, but how
Kevin
we
Moore
lost?
wasn't good.
The offense put up numbers.
Offense put up numbers last year.
What this offense is now.
There was a number one scoring offense last year too.
We have better players. The players that we have right now are not good. When you're dealing with rookies and things like that, and you want to bring in people off the practice squad and AFL and CFL and XFL, and this is what you get. You want to bring in cheap labor. You know what I mean? But
I agree.
Back.
So what? Let me ask you something. Here. Let me fight you on something real quick. What changed?
To fight you on your birthday?
What changed 3 weeks ago? When I brought up all these concerns coming into the season, you was out here talking about we finna blow everybody out. All of a sudden now ain't nothing changing. What changed? Because ain't nothing changed for real, in my opinion.
The whole ran out.
Okay. I'll keep it. You keeping it a bean.
I'm just being honest with you.
I respect that.
I'm a fan first.
I respect that.
Scott, what did we also say, Scott?
I respect that.
You got to show me. Then we all come and say that. You got to show me.
I respect it.
Even if the Cowboys would be 6-0 right now, I wouldn't be on the table. We're the best in the world, and we're gonna win the Super Bowl. No. Why? Because in the playoffs, you got to show me. So I wouldn't be up and down, jumping up and down like we the best if we were 6-0 right now. No.
That's a damn lie.
Scott,
that's a damn lie.
No.
Fam, we beat the Cleveland Browns, and you came in here the next week and said we about to embarrass the Saints after we beat the Browns. And then we got whooped by the Saints, and you came in here the next week and said we about to embarrass the Ravens. You a damn lie.
Fight on your birthday.
You a damn lie.
You spitting all on the cake. Come on, man. God.
I'm just holding you accountable, fam.
Listen,
you just flowing with the wind.
That's Sky, that's regular season, Sky. I didn't say we going to the Super Bowl. We going to kill them in the playoffs. I never said that. This regular season, I thought we could beat the Saints. Yes, because I thought that this defense was a better defense for what I saw. The offense really didn't impress us, but I said, okay, these are building blocks, right? And then when we got our ass whipped by the Saints, I said, okay, let me sit back. Maybe this is a bump in the road. Then it happened again. Then the offense started to go down. So I'm like, you know what? The team ain't ready. The Cleveland Browns is the Cleveland Browns. They get beat by everybody. So that was a blimp. See what I'm saying? Like, if by some miracle we turn it around, I'm not going to sit up and say, yeah, we got it together. Let's go.
I bet you ain't now, because we got a lot of data to show that the things that were at issue coming into this season are now a blinking red light, beyond blinking red light. Let's be honest with you. That thing is fluttering.
I thought Cooper Beebe was going to be a big difference. He's played well. But I thought he was going to be a big difference, but I didn't see the president falling apart how he's falling apart.
Okay.
That hurt me. I thought Steele was going to grow. I didn't see the regression. So it's not Cooper Beebe, it's the regression around him. If Cooper Beebe was here last year, shit.
What about You'd have still had the same.
If Cooper Beebe was here last, our running game with Tony Pollard would be a whole lot better if Cooper Beebe was here last year.
Okay.
It would be. And Tyler Guyton, what he showed in the preseason, I'm like, okay, he's going up against Michael Parsons. Now it's Michael Parsons slack off on him, or was he really doing that? You know what I'm saying? That's a question. You know, it's just the.
In closing, I'd agree. In closing, I don't want you to keep digging a hole. Go ahead. In closing.
Unfortunately, we got to rely on the youth, and this is going to continue into next. Year.
Yeah.
So it's. I just don't. Right now. Up in the air. It's up in the air, man. We just gotta watch. And Sunday, I just, man.
Is this?
I don't like when
Is this that same feeling you had at Cardinals game?
Say that again.
Is this that same feeling you had with the Cardinals game?
Yes.
No. All jokes aside, you had this similar feeling, and Cowboys went out there and got whooped.
Yes. This is the same feeling. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sitting here saying, man, I'm not looking forward to this game. I am not looking forward to this football game, man. I'm really not. And the way they hyping it up, all 49ers are hurt. The 49ers are hurt, man. This is our chance to take it. Man, listen. They got a scheme and we don't. And you will see that on Sunday. I'm out, Scott.
Salute. Shouts out to $100,000 for being a good sport, man. Yeah, we didn't have a scheme before we came into this goddamn thing. I've been trying to tell you. Oh, man. I love having fun with him, man. You gotta love it. I found my hot take here, brother. Brother Nelson. Remember, I'm not going to hold you to these. They're hot takes for a reason. But our guy Nelson Lucen has a hot take here. He says, and I'm sorry for pronouncing that wrong, the Cowboys take the ball first. They score a touchdown, which puts the 49ers on their heels early. And Brock Purdy throws 2 interceptions for a 28-17 Cowboys W. We are a front-running team, or at least we have been in the past. Usually the recipe to success for the Cowboys is to get out early. Now, in years past, you had a defense that turned the ball over. The Cowboys turned the ball over at one of the league's worst rates. But Brock Purdy has been turning the ball over a lot lately. And he's not going to have his best receiver, Brandon Ayuk. We don't know what's going on with Deebo Samuels. Deebo shouldn't play, but he may. We will see. George Kittle is hampered, dealing with a foot thing. He's going to probably play, but he may not be 100%, right? And Purdy has been speeding up his processor a little bit. He's not taking care of the ball. Him throwing multiple picks would not shock me. It would not. But the Cowboys, if they go down to score the first touchdown, they ultimately end up scoring 4 touchdowns. That to me means they took care of business likely in the red zone. So shouts out to you, Nelson, for this week's Dave's Hot Chicken Hot Take of the Week. If you love America's team, you will love America's Chicken. They have all different levels of heat, from mild to Reaper to their bomb sides, including the crinkle cut fries and the mac and cheese. If you are in McKinney, Plano, Waco, make sure you stop by at Dave's Hot Chicken for the #1 hot chicken spot. Appreciate you, Nelson. And appreciate everybody who participated in our hot take of the week. It was tough today. It was a tough one today, given what happened the week before, given how decimated you are and who you're going up against. Kind of been the boogeyman for the Cowboys of late, but they're hampered. So if there was a time, this would be the one. Appreciate the birthday love, too, in the chat. Rolo said, happy 116th birthday. 100 grand laugh like Kawhi Leonard. Who was the dude in here I saw say they don't like the truth? Who are you? Come back to the front. You don't watch this show if you don't think we don't like the truth up in here. We speak nothing but the truth. I don't know how many times I'm going to tell y'all this. I at least understand and know what the issue is here. We talk about it all the time in the offseason. We usually talk about it throughout the year as well, in regards to Jerry Jones and Steven and whatnot. And when it calls for it, it's a topic of discussion. So, but what I'm not going to do, I have a morning show with loyal viewers that tune in 5 days a week. What I'm not going to do is turn this into the big wig networks where all I do is give you sweetener, low-hanging fruit, and talk about what Jerry said on the radio, what Steven said on the radio, about tours, about all that. I promise you, y'all will be the hell up out of here if I did that 5 days a week. Now, will it come up? Yeah, you guys can call in. We'll talk about it. Will I bring it up in the offseason? All the time. But it's football season. I'm pretty sure you guys are here to hear me talk about football. Time and time, I'm going to bring up Steven and Jerry and what they got going on and doing. I do it all the time. Y'all know how I feel. This team has to win in spite of these guys. But I'd venture to guess if all I did was come in here every single day, 5 days a week, all year round, me by myself, and just talk about Jerry and Steven, y'all be up out of here. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. You won't see me in here putting on a cape for Jerry, Steven, or Mike, or whoever. I don't do that. But I have an obligation to real diehard fans that come to this platform for more than just icing on the cake, more than just sweetener. They want real substance and also to be entertained. So we're going to have fun with it. So whoever that was that said whatever in the chat, I don't know if you knew. I don't know, maybe you in the wrong show. If you want me to sit here and bitch and moan and come cry about Jerry Jones for 5 days a week, well, this ain't the show for you. Straight like that. And I'm going to always call those out that cry and complain about me not doing that or emphasizing that each week, each day. Yeah, I'm going to call you out. Willie T says, Sky, we know the Cowboys and NFL media team. Facts. Appreciate you, landlord. He dropped 10 in the super chat.
Super chat.
He said, happy birthday, Sky. I don't know. We got to face the fact we can't do 3 critical things right now. 1, stop the run. 2, we can't run. And number 3, we are -6 in the turnover differential. It's impossible to win like that. I agree. Now, you guys know I usually give my picks on game day, or if we do pick them on game day. But yeah, man, it's an uphill battle. If you can't run the ball, you can't stop the run, and you can't create turnovers, but you turn the ball over. Come on, man. That's hard to do. That's hard to win, man. And landlord, I don't know if you was here earlier in the show. You know, even with the compromised Niners offense, they still do things schematically and just in general, like running the ball, that you aren't good at. That's just the facts. Calvin dropped 5. Appreciate you, Calvin.
Super chat.
He said, keep doing what you're doing, Sky. I love your show. Thank you, man. Miss Army, or not Miss, but Army ATC, the substance is hard when it's always spoiled, Jera. It's not. It really ain't, to be honest. I think Dak said something the other day where he was like, something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm probably wrong with how he said it, but you know, you choose what to be focused on. That's real. Like, if you choose to go listen to First Take and Undisputed talk about what Jerry Jones is saying on the radio for an entire week, that's what you chose to do when there's multiple platforms that you can come and actually listen to other things. Like, don't get me wrong. If this season bottoms out, it's going to be tough for fans to come in here and want to hear about matchups and game plans and things like that. I get it. That's probably going to be for the super degen football men and women, right? Or children who are into that, right? The super degen X's and O's and things like that's tough. That's tough when your team is not doing well and you even want to listen to it? I'm gonna be honest with you. I get it. If you don't, if you want to tune out, that's cool, right? But as a fan, I gotta find when we were bad in 2015, because we were hurt. Man, I had to find different ways to get through that season. I didn't tune out. That's never going to be me. Never. I'm never, ever not going to watch, man. I love this sport too much. I'm always going to watch. So I had to find different things to kind of to get me going and through the week. Now, as a creator, I have a job to present to you these things to help you get through the week as well. And I open up the platform for you guys to express yourself. 100%. We're going to fight and tussle about it sometimes. But it's only so much 5 days a week I can take of what Jerry Jones is saying or doing or about tours. That's just me personally, bro. Coleman dropped 10.
Super chat.
Said, happy birthday, my guy. Yo, Sky, dude is a beta. Don't stress him. Nah, I ain't gonna do that to 100 grand. He not. He knows not what he talking about. Great show as always. I pray you enjoy your birthday, homie. Thank you, Coleman. But nah. Me and 100 grand, it's kind of a bit we've turned it into. But and I'm not saying he was wrong. I'm just was focusing on a specific thing he talked about. And then he went left and tried to turn it back into the Jerry thing. And I'm like, well, that's a totally different conversation, bro. I digress. 469, what it do?
Good morning, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, man. You need a win, bro.
Yeah. Hey. I used to say that to my guy. I said, we need a dub. We need to win.
We need to win, man. That'll change up a lot of this talk. Every talk about Jerry Jones. Who cares about Jerry? I mean, we care, but he doesn't. He's not part of the he's not playing football. We need to go out there and make it happen. Cowboys need to go out there and make it happen. You know what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
Just tired of hearing about Jerry Jones. I mean, he gonna do what he gonna do, but that don't defy everything, and he's not the be all end all. So, I think the Cowboys win 27-17. I think I'm gonna be positive. Prescott gonna have a good game. Just got married, so he got something to prove. My guy.
You said because he got married, he got something to prove. He got to prove to his wife. He got to prove to his fiance.
He got something to prove, man. Yeah, they can't go home. Can't go home. You know what I'm saying?
So you basically saying, hey, Dak gave her a ring, so now hey, you better get the Cowboy fans their ring. Okay.
Gotta get a Cowboy ring.
All right.
Rico, he gonna have a good game, man. He gonna have like 100 yards and a touchdown, I think. And we gotta stop Kittle. Stop Kittle and Debo. They gonna play and because their defense, I think they're only missing like a linebacker maybe.
Yeah, the defense healthy. The defense healthy. Yeah, I don't know if Debo plays, bro. I hope he don't for his health sake. I mean, all football aside, bro. You just had fluid in your lungs and you got pneumonia. You gonna play 6 days later? I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy to me.
It's crazy, but they hyping it up on the internet. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I expect him to play. Yeah. They trying to say he gonna play. So. I don't know, man. We'll see about it. But whoever they got out there, got to get to the quarterback. Got to play some defense. Got to stop the run because they're gonna try to run with 24. Got to stop him. And
Jordan Mason, yeah.
If we play all three if we get off the plane and go out the hotel room and play all three phases of the game, Cowboys can win the game. They gotta play though.
I will say this about all three phases. One phase that they have a big advantage is special teams. And I'm not just talking about Brandon Aubrey. Obviously, Brandon Aubrey is, in my opinion, the best kicker in the National Football League. But they may be without their kicker again. I know they're working on like their third kicker in 3 weeks. And then they also have not covered well. So, Kevontae Turpin could have a big say on that. Yeah.
He can run one back again, yeah. He already ran one back this year, so yeah, he can do it again, yeah. We need everybody to show up and play good, man, because this is a chance to turn the season around and change all this bad talk that the Cowboys got going on. So I just think they'll have a great game. Everybody's rested. Michael Parsons might not play. I seen Eric Kendricks practice, so he's probably gonna play. Carson Daly gonna play.
He was a limited participant the past two practices, so he's trending towards that. Today is gonna be a big day. After what has happened the last few weeks of practice, though, I can't stamp anything until game time because we thought Deron was gonna play, we thought Kalen was gonna play. So hopefully these dudes are ready to go on. Not Deron, he's not going to play, I don't think, but Kalen Carson and Eric Kendricks, that'd be big to get them back.
Okay, yeah, we gotta show up and show out, man, because all them teams that's 5-1 and 6-0, they're gonna lose, and then we still got a chance to make the playoffs, and we just start winning. We gotta put it together.
They just got to start with 1 week at a time. They can't be thinking out playoff right now because they're on a playoff team, in my opinion, not right now. So they got to just go 1-0 this week, 1-0 next week, and just keep pushing to get better and building and stacking. They have not done that. They've been the most inconsistent team I've seen in a long time here. So,
yeah. Do you watch Speak on FS1?
I do not.
If you get a chance, you see the Michael Irvin pep talk this week?
Nah,
that's what we need, man. I know a pep talk ain't gonna win the game, but that'll get you going. If you ever look it up on internet, check it out. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, take a look. I mean, if it's Mike talking, and especially when Mike get going with his emotions, he's my favorite player, one of my favorite players of all time. Him and Derek Woodson. So I'll listen to him. Yeah, I'll listen to him. Sure.
Yeah, we need him as our receiver coach and a hype man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, man. Hey, appreciate the call though. 469.
All right, you have a blessed weekend, man. We gonna win, man.
All right,
go Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
All right, homie.
I tell you this. Talk about the receivers. I don't even like giving this dude a shout out, but I did see the clip going around on Twitter. Mr. Dan Orlowski, right? What Troy said, what he said, and if you watch our show, we've brought that up before. I specifically showed one play where Jalen Tober was kind of like, I was like, hey man, you ain't really running off the ball there. But we had brought it up a few times here on the show about the receivers and how they're getting into these routes or whatnot. But Troy called him all the way out. That became a big deal, right? And I think it was, I forget the dude's name, former Falcon receiver, and Dan Orlowski. They put the film, right? They said, okay, let's go look at it on the film. And you saw it. And you saw in how CD was running his routes. Troy said what he said was because of that game. Now, he was saying this has been going on for a minute. And you saw, I think it was Turpin play he showed. But, I mean, Troy wasn't lying. I don't know how many people took offense to that, but you shouldn't have. Because he wasn't lying, right? If it's one thing where if you have a scheme that is getting these type of guys open because the way you're drawing it up conceptually, that's not what we have here. So when we're reliant on our guys to win pretty much majority of the time, mano y mano, then damn it, you need to be going 110%. You need to be precise in your details. Kurt Warner talks about a lot. Details. And that's not happening, at least consistently. And it wasn't happening in that Lions game. That's for damn sure. And it wasn't happening from your top guy. So hopefully he does take that personally. And we're not coming out here chicken fighting and hand fighting. We getting into our routes full speed. Now, the one play that he showed, if y'all want to go see it, just type in Dan Orlowski, Troy Aikman. It'll pop up on Twitter or wherever. The one play with Terp. Terp actually has been running that damn whip route that way all the time. I don't like it. I don't like how he runs it. He's quick enough to whip around, obviously, and get to the spot, but he's not firing off the ball and selling that. He's been doing that. Even when he caught a touchdown pass against Philly. Remember I told you I was just watching the red zone plays from last year. It was the same way. He didn't fire off the ball, and it was a contested throw. A whip route, you should be wide open. Cole Beasley used to eat them Jones up. In fact, go watch. I think Ferg runs them very well. Go watch Ferguson, Jake Ferguson, run that on Fred Warner. Fires out, gets right into Fred Warner. Quick whip, wide open. I mean, he put the brakes on Fred. Fred was wide open because it was run with the pace to do so. So when he brought up the receivers, I just wanted to say, go check that out. Not a fan of the man. I'm not a fan when Dan is acting like an a-hole. But when he's actually breaking down like film, he's really good at his job. Aaron D said we missing a Cole Beasley right now. I've been trying to replace a slot. I've been trying to find that guy for years, bro. Those who watch this show over the last 3 years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I talk about how the slot receiver in Dallas always had success with Dak Prescott. A slot, right? Randall Cobb, Cole Beasley. Hell, even Seth Wilson, when he was in the slot, had success. These guys have success. They like to put CD in there, and I get it. It's a mismatch. But, man, give me one of these dudes that can just route up your third corner. Right? Not every team has a Jordan Lewis or a Trent McDuffie. Give me one of them dudes that just and in between 15 and then he open and he can get some yak and whatnot. Give me one of them guys, man. Toxic. Is that Toxic? Our Toxic? Toxic Captain America. I think that's a different Toxic. That's Captain America. Shouts out to you. He said Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfro's been out there. I'm imagining Hunter Renfrow ain't the same guy, but Hunter Renfrow in his prime, yes. Cooper Kupp, 100%. I mean, they're trying to trade him apparently. I don't know why, but yeah. E2 Blue, shouts out to you, says they can do that with Flournoy. No, I don't think Flournoy's that's not the type of slot guy I'm looking for. I'm looking for a slot. A route runny, uber twitchy, low gravity receiver that's gonna put these dudes on skates. Flournoy could be your X receiver though. I think he has a physical ability to be that. But give me one of these slot dudes, man. CD was great in the slot when he had Coop. Yeah. I mean, CD is a big slot, and that's kind of more of a trend too, like big slots. CD Lamb, what's my man's name? And Boyd, and Chris Godwin, like big slots. There's places in the game for big slots. Don't get me wrong. And Dak has had success, obviously, with CD Lamb in the slot. Said Wilson's a bigger slot. But again, just that route running dude underneath would take attention off of a Jake Ferguson, would take attention off of whoever maybe that guy is next to him. You know, there was a time where you put Amari Cooper on one side, CD in the slot with Dalton Schultz. You got to make a decision now, right? And hence why you always saw Dalton Schultz just easy pitch and catch, because you can't possibly pay attention to Dalton Schultz when I got to pay attention to Amari and CD. Yeah, the Shakir cat. Yep, Joe Samper talk about Buffalo receiver Shakir. He's like that too. Yeah, give me one of these dudes, man. So Turpin is an interesting one. I still think we're Turpin is growing as a receiver. I will be very interested to see where Turpin is in 3 years from a receiver standpoint. I don't think he's just quite there though. Like the nuances, the understandings, the finding the zones, reading the defenses. They talked about that was something that his first 2 years he had to grow into, right? He wasn't like a true wide receiver. So, but Turpin has the physical tools. I don't know if he has like the nuances of doing it in the slot like some of these other guys. But Turpin is an interesting one. Oh, Puka, that guy, man. E2 said, I would be interested to see Cooks. He plays in there, but they don't really have, they just got him running down the field and turning around. Like, they don't got him really doing the slots things. And he's a route runner. Cooks is a route runner. It's just we don't do those type of things with Cooks when he is in the slot. That's another one be interesting. But I would like to get a legitimate one at some point. We'll see. Let me refresh this real quick. I think I missed the super. Shouts out to my guy, Matt Lennox. He dropped 5, said, happy birthday, brother. See you next week for the Falcons game. Shouts out to you. He said he coming through Canvas Sports and Social. We'll be back, me and Jesse Holly, for your game day live out on the patio. Always tell y'all, man, good vibes, good energy down there. If you happen to walk by, because we're outside and you see me kind of looking like I'm stressed, hey, I tell y'all this all the time. I'm not analyst, reporter, breakdown guy, host during it. I'm just a fan, man. Like, I'm just fanning out. I live and die through every single play. So I'm good. I'm all right. I might just be looking stressed out because that's what they do to me as a fan. You know, play in, play out. But come on through. Rock with your boy. You can also hit up Specs. If they stress you out, you need a drink. It's your one-stop destination for unbeatable selections of beer, wine, liquor, and finer foods. Whether you're planning that Cowboys watch party or you're looking for the perfect bottle for that perfect weekend, Specs got you covered. They got great prices, expert advice, and the best brands. You can find it all at Specs. And what makes Specs really cool is that you can download the app and they have a delivery service. Same day delivery or curbside pickup if you need to get it quick. You can shop online, download the app, place the order at one of your local Specs across all of Texas. Specs, cheers to you. Cheers to savings. Dre said you in fan mode. Straight like that. Ask Big A. Big A be coming through. Aislinn comes through. And, you know, he know how it is. He know how it is. Dion said Dallas is missing their Cole Beasley type. Let me pull this out a little bit. If they go get Hunter Renfrow, he could play that role. I would have to be honest with you. I did bring up Hunter Renfrow as a guy this offseason, but maybe I didn't evaluate as good as I maybe should have, because I don't think he's playing, right? I think he's still out. So there's got to be something going on with the guy. But yeah, he that type of receiver for sure. For sure. All right, one more refresh here. Let me say this before I get up out of here. I truly, and you know, Michelle will tell you guys this, I don't really take my birthday all that serious. I probably should, especially the older I get. You only get so many of these things, right? But I appreciate the birthday love, straight up. I've seen some of you guys drop in the Cash App. Let me go give some shout outs to you guys. It was coming in here as I was doing the show. I want to give a shout out to Jarvis Wright. He dropped the Cash App, said happy birthday, Sky. Nelson Musgrave dropped in the Cash App, he said happy birthday. Shouts out to Wayne Wright. He dropped another happy birthday Cash App as well. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Seriously. Just the love in general here. I appreciate for my birthday. Again, I'm not a big birthday guy. I that's just not me. But, you know, Michelle's, you know, she's done a great job making my birthday feel special. So shouts out to her as well. And shouts out to all my Scorpio brothers and sisters out there. Happy birthday to you guys as well, man. With that said, y'all know what it is. It's time to press this damn button.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
Deontay Johnson. That's an interesting name. Cowboys, Niners, Week 8, Sunday night football. I don't like primetime games, but I'll be back here live, pregame, halftime, postgame. Me and Jesse got you covered. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Be safe out here in these streets, man. I love y'all. Peace. They say I qualify for AARP now, man. I'm finna go watch Matlock. Y'all crazy.
Bomb Squad!